Next, problems on vibrations of a string. Problem number 1. A string is stretched and fastened to two points x equal to 0 and x equal to L apart. Motion is started by displacing the string into the form y is equal to k into Lx minus x square, from which it is released at time t equal to 0. Find the displacement of any point on the string at a distance of x from one end at a time t. String is a material twisted together to form a thin length. A string is stretched and fastened to 2 points x equal to 0 and x equal to L apart. A string is tied at two endpoints. One endpoint is x equal to 0 and another endpoint is x is equal to L. Now, the string is displaced through a certain distance in the form y is equal to k into Lx minus x square from the equilibrium position, and then it is released from there at a time t equal to 0. We are releasing the string at a time t equal to 0 in the form of y is equal to k into Lx minus x square. Now, find the displacement of any point on the string at a distance of x from one end at the time t. So therefore, from this given problem, if you model this physical phenomena, we get a partial differential equation. We know that is one dimensional wave equation, and we have initial and boundary conditions here. From the given problem, we have to write the initial and boundary conditions. What is the displacement at the endpoints, and what is the initial velocity, what is the initial displacement in the string at a time t equal to 0. Now we have to write all these things to find the displacement of any point on the string at any distance of x from one end at any time t. Now write the one-dimensional wave equation. Our solution, as explained in the previous class, the one-dimensional wave equation is dou square y by dou t square is equal to c square into dou square y by dou x square. This is the one-dimensional wave equation. After the modeling of the given physical phenomena, we get this one-dimensional wave equation. This is partial differential equation. From the given problem, we get the following initial and boundary conditions. Given problem, we get the following conditions, both boundary and initial conditions. In the previous class, I already explained through the diagram. Now condition number 1, y of 0 comma t, displacement at one endpoint O, that is 0 origin, O comma t equal to 0 for all t greater than 0. This is condition number 1. What is the displacement at another endpoint, that is x is equal to L, that is also 0, because there is no displacement at both the endpoints. Y of L comma t equal to 0 for all t greater than 0. These two conditions are boundary conditions, because this is a one boundary point, this is another boundary point, that means end point. 0 is one end point, L is another end point. So these conditions are called boundary conditions. Therefore, another initial conditions. Now in the given problem, initial velocity of the string is 0, since it is released at a time t equal to 0 from its equilibrium position with 0 velocity. There is no velocity in the string at a time t equal to 0 before releasing it. Another condition number 3. Now dou by dou t of y of x comma 0 equal to 0 for all 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to L, that means initial velocity. Since since initial velocity is 0. Since the initial velocity is 0. Now condition number 4. Now initial displacement in the string at time t equal to 0, that is k into Lx minus x square for all 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to L. This is given in the problem. In the given problem, see that motion is started by displacing the string into the form of y is equal to k into Lx minus x square, from which it is released at a time t equal to 0. So because this is the initial displacement at a time t equal to 0 in the string. The conditions given at a time t equal to 0 are called initial conditions. In the previous class, we have explained the correct solution which satisfies our boundary conditions, and to find the values of C1, C2, C3 and C4. So by satisfying the initial and boundary conditions is y of x comma t is equal to C1 cos px plus C2 sin px into C3 cos cpt plus C4 sin cpt. Now we have to write the correct solution which satisfies our boundary conditions to find the arbitrary constant C1, C2, C3 and C4 respectively. The correct solution which satisfies our conditions, initial and boundary conditions, is y of x comma t is equal to C1 cos px plus C2 sin px into C3 cos cpt plus C4 sin cpt. Say this is equation number 1. This is equation number 1. Now apply condition number 1 in equation 1. We get now condition 1 is y of 0 comma t equal to 0 for all t greater than 0. So therefore put x is equal to 0 in equation number 1, that is C1 cos p into 0 plus C2 sin p into 0, C3 cos cpt plus C4 sin cpt. So therefore here we have to substituting 0. So cos 0 1, sin 0 0, cos 0 1. Therefore here we get C1 plus 0 into C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT. And then substitute y of 0 comma t equal to 0. Y of 0 comma t equal to C1 cos 0 plus C2 sin 0 into C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT. Therefore, this is equal to C1 cos 0 1 into C1 sin 0 0 into C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT, but this value is equal to 0, boundary condition. Therefore, now either C1 equal to 0 or C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT equal to 0. But C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT not equal to 0 because it is defined for all values of t. It is defined for all values of t. So it can never be equal to 0. Even at a time t equal to 0 also we will get cos 0 1. So it will never be equal to 0. So therefore the remaining factor is C1. So definitely C1 will be equal to 0. Therefore this implies C1 equal to 0. Since C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT not equal to 0 as it is defined for all t. Or otherwise, if it is equal to 0, what will happen? See here, if it is equal to 0, y of x comma d equal to 0, that is trivial solution. So we do not require trivial solution. 0 solution is not at all a required solution. Our required solution is non-trivial solution. So therefore for this is not equal to 0. Therefore C1 equal to 0. Now substituting C1 equal to 0 in equation number 1. We get y of x comma t is equal to C1 value 0. Therefore C2 sin px into C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT. Say this is a equation number 2. Now applying condition number 2 in equation 2. Applying condition 2 In equation 2, we get here substitute x is equal to L, then C2 sin PL, C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT, and in the left hand side y of L comma t equal to 0, you can substitute y of L comma t is equal to C2 sin PL into C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT. Therefore, y of L comma t is equal to 0. That is given in condition number 2. Therefore, 0 is equal to C2 sin PL into C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT equal to 0. But here, as explained earlier, C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT not equal to 0. Therefore, either C2 equal to 0 or sin PL is equal to 0. Since this value is 0, this implies either C2 equal to 0 or sin PL equal to 0, since C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT not equal to 0 as it is defined for all values of t. For all t. If C2 equal to 0, what will happen? Let us check. Suppose if C2 equal to 0, already we have C1 equal to 0. Then y of x comma t equal to 0. Trivial solution. It is trivial solution. As explained earlier, we always require non-trivial solution. We do not require zero solution. That means a trivial solution. Therefore, C2 can never be equal to 0. Therefore, sin PL equal to 0. Therefore, hence, C2 not equal to 0. Sin PL equal to 0. Sin PL equal to sin n pi, since sin n pi equal to 0 for any value of n. Therefore, from this equality of trigonometric equations, from this PL is equal to n pi. Sin PL is equal to sin n pi means the same trigonometric ratios are equal with the different angles here. Therefore, PL is equal to n pi. That indicates that PL is equal to n pi. Sin PL is equal to sin n pi means PL is equal to n pi. It is only possible when PL is equal to n pi. So PL is equal to n pi. Therefore, this implies P is equal to n pi by L. Substituting P equal to n pi by L in equation number 2. We get y of x comma t is equal to c2 sin n pi x by L, c3 cos c n pi t by L, c4 sin c n pi t by L. Y of x comma t is equal to c2 sin n pi x by L into c3 cos c n pi t by L. So therefore that can be written as n pi c t by L plus c4 sin n pi c t by L. Say this is equation number 3. Now apply condition number 3 in equation 3. Here condition 3 is dou by dou t of y of x comma 0 is equal to 0 for all 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to L. So therefore, to apply condition number 3 in equation 3, first differentiate equation 3 partially with respect to t, keeping other variables being constants. Now partially differentiating equation 3 with respect to t. Dou by dou t of y of x comma t equal to c2 is constant, sin n pi x by L is also constant. Now derivative of c3 cos n pi ct by L. c3 is a constant. Derivative of cos, that is minus sin n pi ct by L. Again derivative of n pi ct by L, since it is a composite function, because here we have two functions, one is cos and another one is algebraic function. So we completed the derivative of trigonometric function. Now we have to differentiate algebraic function n pi ct by L with respect to t. N is constant, pi is constant, c is constant, L is constant. Derivative of t is 1. plus C4 derivative of sine cos n pi Ct by L into same argument, derivative of n pi Ct by L. N is constant, pi is constant, C is constant, by L is constant, derivative of T is a 1. Now applying condition number 3. What is condition number 3? Dou by dou t of y of x comma 0. That means put t equal to 0. Now applying condition 3, in the above equation. We get dou by dou t of y of x comma 0, that is equal to C2 sine n pi x by L into, put t equal to 0, minus C3 n pi c by L into sine of n pi c by L into 0. That means sine 0. Sine 0 value 0 plus C4 n pi c by L into cos of n pi c by L into 0, cos 0, cos 0 1. So plus C4 into n pi c by L into 1. Since sine 0 equal to 0 and cos 0 equal to 1, sine 0 equal to 0, cos 0 equal to 1. Therefore, again this value is equal to 0 as in condition number 3. 0 is equal to C2 into sine n pi x by L, C4 into n pi c by L. Therefore, either C2 equal to 0 or sine n pi x by L equal to 0 or C4 equal to 0 or n pi c by L equal to 0. But C2 is not equal to 0. As already explained, the reason sine n pi x by L is not equal to 0 because it is defined for all values of x. Dou by dou t of y of x comma 0. It is defined for all values of x. What will happen if it will become 0? Again we will get a trivial solution. In equation number 3, C2 sin n by x by L into this one. If it is 0, again we will get a trivial solution. So trivial solution is not at all our required solution. So sin n by x by L not equal to 0. N pi c by L is also not equal to 0 since all are constant. Therefore, C4 is equal to 0. This implies C2 not equal to 0. Already explained the reason why it is not equal to 0. Sin n pi x by L not equal to 0 since it is defined for all x. And n pi c by L is also not equal to 0. Since all are constants, all are constants. Therefore, since these are all not equal to 0, we have C4 equal to 0. Now substituting C4 equal to 0 in equation number 3. Now C4 equal to 0 here. Therefore, we will get C2 sin n pi x by L into C3 cos n pi ct by L. We get y of x comma t equal to C2 sin n pi x by L into C3 cos n pi ct by L. There is no C4 sin n pi ct by L since C4 equal to 0. Therefore, this can be written as C2 C3 sin n pi x by L into cos n pi ct by L. Therefore, y of x comma t is equal to bn sin n pi x by L into cos n pi ct by L. Say this is equation number 4. The remaining solution will be continued in the next lecture, where Pn is equal to C2 C3. C2 C3 we are assuming B suffix n.